Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal, and today we have this great charge of Aquarian energy. On one side, we have the moon that is ending its passage through here. Today is January 20th. Venus entered in Aquarius on January 17th. Yesterday, 19th, the Sun entered. And today also Mercury is in Aquarius, so all of them are going through the underworld of Pluto that was already waiting there and that is going to transit this sign until 2044. So I wanted to emphasize something that I mentioned on Sunday that I said at the end of the video, that Aquarius is air, mind. So of course we have this capacity of look at experience. This is emphasized too as a synchronicity of life that is showing us an aspect of ourselves, that is calling us to an authentic revelation of the soul. But as we have all of this charge of energy together with Pluto in here along the whole week, our mind could be in this fixed focus, at times could be obsessive even, in circumstances that aren't actually contributing. And that's why it is very important to not forget that we have a body of our emotional processes too. In fact, inhabiting the body could be a good way of redirecting thoughts that are generating much uncertainty or anxiety towards the future, which could be a shadow of Pluto in Aquarius too. So these transits, I am going to be honest, they are not comfortable, but they are very necessary, because during these phases, aspects of us are being shown that are helping us to transform areas of our lives that we truly want to be different. And perhaps we weren't going to the roots of a situation. We were just focusing in what is being shown in the in the cover. This is not the expression, but I am not remembering the word in English. And it is precisely Pluto, the one that leads us to deepen in those circumstances, so we can transform from the core. Today we have had the perfection of Venus in Pluto in Aquarius, and it is important to look at the house or houses where you have this sign to know the areas that this is moving. And if you have planets in the first degrees of every fixed sign, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, you are going to feel this very, very strong. Could be very, very moving. So I wanted to focus in this event because Venus is the first planet that makes exact contact with Pluto. The rest of them are in orb, are already in orb, and you could be feeling a little bit of instability inside or in certain areas of life, and this energy is going to increase in intensity in the next days. So it is very important to trust that every inner or external revolution that we don't control is the cosmos impulsing us towards evolution. But the most important axis is that the aspects that are shown to us, that perhaps are parts that we don't like that much of ourselves, that could be reflected through circumstances, through other people, are giving us the chance to produce very powerful changes. Could be, letting go of parts of us, circumstances. The more attachment that we could have with them, with Pluto, the more painful that those situations could be. But this is a purge. And even if we are not fully seeing this at the present, this brings lightness after, because one comprehends that those were aspects that we couldn't keep sustaining anymore, and that prevent us from experimenting this healthy inner freedom. So the energy of Aquarius offers us the possibility to look at circumstances from this higher consciousness, to practice this elevation of the perspective, to take distance, and to see the interconnection of events or even areas of life. For example, something that I see quite frequently is, and it is a very Venusian topic, is that people that could be experimenting difficulties, economic difficulties with their resources, in many occasions, not every of them, this is only an example, we cannot make this an absolute, but in many occasions, this is related to ways of behavior and patterns that they are sustaining in relational dynamics. So when we are in those kind of dynamics, in which we are losing all of our energy, we are not able to focus ourselves in other areas of life. And that is how life is showing us in some way, how we are adapting to, I don't know, great lack of reciprocity, to ways that we don't want to be anymore, even because we are feeling like forced, but we are sustaining them anyways because we are conditioned to have those behaviors. And these kind of things are representing not giving value to ourselves, to our energy, and this is what is being reflected in other orders of reality. So we are pushed to change these things. The mind has a tendency to stay in a familiar space, even if it is a pattern that causes us damage, because acting differently or practicing something new, when we talk about Pluto especially, symbolizes death of the identity. And that's why, that's when we are about to give a step that will produce growth, that is evolutionary. That is the moment where a lot of patterns could reemerge that are anchoring us to the old thing. But it is just because the mind enters in this state of survival. So we could remind ourselves that we are in a safe space in the present moment beyond the circumstances. I mean, there are circumstances that certainly could be challenging. That everything that is happening right now is happening to taking us to the next level of consciousness, of awareness, that in the end is what allows us to change reality. Perceptions are truly important because they are the ones that give form to reality. And that's why in the face of disruptive or even chaotic circumstances, returning to this principle of synchronicity and that everything is manifesting for a reason is important, even if we are feeling, all the emotions and whatever thing we are feeling. So the union with Venus and Pluto, without doubts, is removing a lot of things regarding relationships, shadows of how other people could be depositing all the power of their happiness and plenitude in other people that actually are not able to offer that at times. They are not able to be present energetically or emotionally, or where situations where patterns are being revealed, unconscious patterns that are not the parties are not able to change. And when two people are not actually helping each other to grow, many times the most evolutionary thing that we could do is to put it an end. But for others, this could have to do with friendships or a group of people that aren't resonating anymore. Because Aquarius is a sign of authenticity, of being honest with what we feel genuine in the present. And if there are people that aren't able to accept what for us is genuine in our path, it is because perhaps we are in different points of the experience and we cannot accompany each other, which also lead us to not force other people to be who they are not, so they can accompany, because that is ending in manipulation. So respecting the process of oneself is respecting the process of others, and vice versa. In other level, this conjunction could also be opening ourselves to a new situation, whether this is creative or relational. And as everything new, the uncertainty could emerge. These fears, ghosts of the past, fear of losing something, fear of pain, overthinking what to do, how we need to act, what to say to control certain outcome. And that is actually disconnecting us from the now and the possibilities of enjoying and to open ourselves to that new that life is presenting, because all that we require is presence. Only when we are present, there is awareness, there is consciousness, whether because we are observing what we think, what we feel, or what we are experimenting. This is an observation that it is not emerging from an opinion based on a concept or a judgment. That is the consciousness. And when we access to it, there is this authentic information of what is happening and what is among our power to do. So it is the same how much time a person stays in our life. The important thing is the essence that those people could help us to discover, the intentions or the impulses that make us to feel attracted for a certain person in particular. And it is important to say that attraction, it is not always connection. At certain moments we could be attracted to people that are only going to reflect in painful ways parts of us that we were avoiding facing. But there are other people that could show us, in I don't know, purest ways of love, and also unconscious shadows, because in some way there is always not revealed aspects that we need to illuminate. The thing is to choose to stay while we can, in spaces where we can impulse each other to the original being, where there is will of facing these parts that we are rejecting at times, to not keep projecting them towards the outside, where there is this will of transforming for oneself and for the other, where we are moving forward in spite of the fear, in the phases where there are aspects that need to die so we can be reborn, not because we are attaching to someone or something to avoid dealing with oneself. On the contrary, this is about choosing being surrounded of people with whom we feel that we can connect in a deep way, with everything that involves, with everything that reflects, and just grow. So thank you everyone, see you in the next video. Ciao ciao.